Once again, folks, we're going to do another fishing video. I hope the audio turns out. We're having a real issue today with wind and bright sun to try to make this look good and sound good, so the audio might be a little bit windy. As for the fishing, things kind of been carrying on at pace for this year. It's been, some mornings have been good, some mornings have not, and it's all been a morning fishing routine. I've been down on the Douglaston Salmon Run for most of it, and what we've been experiencing, a quick little shift of fish that comes through. And when I mean by quick, we're talking about several dozen you might see to maybe a couple hundred fish that might move by you. And they're coming through in little groups of onesies, twosies, maybe a half a dozen will trickle through. And that's basically from legal fishing light until about late morning on a good day. And then about that point, the activity stops and all these fish are heading to the deep pools. So you can fish your favorite pinch points and slots that you would normally would. And then by that, once you see that activity run, you got to move. And then you got to start covering water and fishing through all the deep pockets and what remains of a pool where these fish can find a little bit of depth and a little overhead cover. And they're just going to sit there for the rest of the day. The other thing is, once they get into these spots, they're going to get a little crabby, so you got to play around with your presentation and your flies. And if you work at them, you'll get some bites. For a nutshell, that's what's been really kind of been going on. As for the water, we're still at the 185 release at the dam. And down at the bottom of the river, we're looking at around maybe 210, 220 CFS for the release, release plus runoff that we get down here. So it's still summer minimum water flows, low water flows for this time of year, but the fish are poking their way through it. As for water temperatures, we're having some cold nights. We already had one frost this week. They're talking about another freeze tonight when I'm making this video. Water temperatures in the mornings have dropped down into the upper 50s, low 60s, so we got good water temperatures. The estuary has had some fish. Early in the week, there's reports of some cohos hanging around down there, and then they disappeared in a few salmon. Sometimes there's some fish in the estuary, sometimes they're not. So you can get a feel for what it is. It's just, we're off to a very slow start. Kind of nothing that we haven't experienced in the past. Actually, I've seen this type of a start several times before, so I'm not too concerned. I think once the end of this week, we should be starting to see a pickup in pace. We're starting to get into what I refer to as prime time, salmon time. So hopefully the pace will pick up as we go on through the week. What we're doing for flies, we're still staying with the same old arsenal. We're using 6s and 4 woolly buggers, black, brown, once in a while olive, a little sparkly bodied olive, a little sparkly black in the woolly buggers, a little bit of bling in them. A couple small wet flies, soft hackles have been working really well. So we've been bouncing around with that. When the fish have getting a little crabby, we've been dropping down to tippet size, which has been making for some real challenges because the river being real low, a lot of rocks out there, and we've been losing a lot of fish to the rocks. So we've been rocked quite a bit. So it's not on fire, but if you come up, cover some water, you're going to find a few bites. The other thing is the upper river is just starting to get picking up with fishing pressure. So there's still mid-river, upper river. There's a lot of quiet water. And there is some handfuls of fish spread out through the deeper pools and pockets up there too. So even, I don't know if this is going into what's traditionally a busy weekend. However, I still think with a little bit of boot leather, you can find some quiet water with a couple of fish in there that you can fish to out of the chaos. That's kind of what's been going on. I don't have a lot more to really add to this report, other than it's just been like it's been in the last 3 reports. This is report 4, I remember correctly. So not much has changed. We're just kind of muddling along. Going forward, we should have a fishing video up, I'm hoping this week. Mind you, it's pretty hard to go home on the end of the day of guiding and try to edit video. You're already in zombie mode when you're trying to cook supper, so it gets kind of hard to do a good job of editing, but I'm hoping to have that done soon. Also, I got to tell everybody thank you for subscriptions. Welcome to everybody that subscribed. Once again, there's a little subscribe button, I think right about there, that's triangle. You hit that, not triangle, rectangle. I got to get my shapes right. I've been fishing quite a bit. I don't have a lot of coffee in me, so I'm screwing it up. But hit that rectangle thing that says subscribe. Right next to it, there's a bell icon. Hit that bell icon. You'll get a notification when we finally get our fishing video up and when we do the next fishing report, so you can at least stay up to date on what's going on. Until then, let's hope we get some rain, and let's hope the fish decide to start running and playing with us. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the support, and until next time, folks.
This is Jay from Peck Guides Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish Lake Ontario tributaries. We also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. And we also do, during the heat of the summer, warm water fishing such as pike and bass fishing. If you're interested in joining us in any of these outings, please feel free to contact me and we can discuss your options. My cell is 585-233-0436. Hope to talk to you soon.